I told you I'm putting it on you. We're going for it.
Yeah, I was making a bunch of plays out there.
Good. That's good. That's solid, too.
Yes, sir.
Hold your ground. Hold your ground. Woo! Let's go, baby. Let's go. Yeah, we got all we need right there, right? All we need, baby.
Well, hey there, gang. Welcome back to the Charger Chat. This is a bonus episode. You weren't expecting it, but you freaking got it.
Oh, my God.
This is weird. Your voice travels. Awesome. I've never been in the same room while you're doing those intros.
Oh, my God.
This is really weird, guys. I don't know if I like it.
I think we figured it out. We haven't been in the same room together since, 2010.
Yeah, since
That's
Kevin
probably
betrayed
right.
me as his best man.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
named Adam Woolldog.
Now I remember why. Because he's very handsome.
Wow, this is surreal, folks. All three of us from the Charger Chat podcast are currently in Kansas City, Missouri, merely footsteps away from the stadium, and it's weird. We've never done a Charger Chat podcast when we've all been in the same room before. This is
very Ricky Bobby. I don't know what to do with my hands
Yeah,
situation.
this is bizarre.
This is weird. I don't have my computer. I don't have my list of what to look at. This is all totally off the cuff, folks. So, thank you for being here, first of all. But there's been some stuff to talk about. We all just got into Kansas City today. Kyle just got in before me. Did you have any adventures coming into the heart of the beast?
Yeah, it sucks going to the San Diego airport and seeing the flock of Chief fans getting on the flight to Kansas City.
Oh, really?
Just like
From San Diego.
Yes. And I was getting dirty looks. I'm like, guys, this is where we're from. You can't do this to me on my home turf. In 3 hours from now when I'm in Kansas City, I get it. My Charger hat might offend you. Not now. You guys should be scared. But that's just not the case, I guess, in San Diego anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wow. Did you have any adventures driving over here?
Yeah, well, got up early, had to get in there because you have to take, we're the way we're going to the game, we had to take a COVID test. So I had to drop off the COVID test to make sure those were all good. And we're all clear, guys.
We are all clear.
We did it. We're COVID free.
We are officially COVID free.
But yeah, I had the opportunity to go pick up some groceries and the tailgate stuff, and I'm walking through the
Grocery store.
Thank you. I'm walking through the grocery store and I'm rocking my Charger jacket and I'm just getting all the mean looks. I usually get mean looks in Columbia,
right?
But this is 2 hours from the Beast. We're in the Beast,
right? We are in it.
A 6-year-old lady was trying to kill me with her eyes. She tried to fucking murder me with her eyes. So
they don't fuck around.
They don't mess around here. And then we got together and we went and we picked up the Woolldog.
Oh man!
Woolldog.
If anybody is following our social media, you saw.
Who
literally
let the dogs out?
What happened as I walked out? I'm like, I'm in a daze because I had a layover I'm visiting every AFC West opponent in my travels. I stopped over in Denver on the way here. I'm stopping over in Vegas on the way back, and so I'm just I'm in a blur. I'm in a haze. I've been flying all day and. Just all of a sudden, I just see this car come up. I see hands waving, and I know it's the Duggan Bros. And then all of a sudden, I hear, "Who let the dogs out?" Who? And I don't know what to do with myself. So I give them a twirl. I give them some show because I'm in Kansas City. Who gives a shit? So yeah, it's been it's wild, folks. I can't believe that we are all here right now. This is crazy.
It's really fun.
So obviously we'll be going to the game tomorrow. We'll give you guys an instant reaction when that happens, but we also have other stuff to talk about. There's been some news that's happened since we've last had our podcast episode. Looking at the team news, we've got a lot of guys that are out, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Hayward, we all heard about getting injured in the last game, and so kind of expected that he wasn't going to be playing.
Yeah.
Bosa, obviously dealing with the concussion. And, I mean, we talked about that. You're hurt. We don't need it.
I'd rather, this kind of makes me feel better.
Yeah, it's
honestly.
crazy because the Chiefs are in a let's rest for the playoffs, and the Chargers are in a let's rest for 2021.
Yeah. Right. Let's rest for next year.
Yeah.
Let's see. We've
Rayshon Jenkins.
Right.
Is that
Jenkins
next one?
is also got hurt. Henry caught COVID. Bulaga's been hurt all season, so there's nothing surprising there. Malik Jefferson is out, and Adai is out. And Sam Tevye is questionable. And Keenan Allen.
Yeah,
unfortunately got
out.
COVID. I mean, he was 8 yards
8
short
yards from 1,000.
That's got a freaking sting.
That sucks.
Yeah.
The big thing for me is Tevye, dude. We remember what it was like for Justin when we didn't have Tevye. And we want that big 3-4-1, the 341 yards to beat the record.
He's been the reliable lineman all season.
It is essential that he plays.
Questionable, too, is 90% of the time.
They've literally called everyone they said that is out so far. Like, literally everyone. If he's questionable and they haven't announced it yet, he's probably going to play.
Yeah,
right.
That's the hope because,
I mean, who else do we have?
If we could be there, it's like to be there to go 7-9. It's like okay, cool, but to be there to see him break the rookie all-time passing record,
it's gonna get. Oh my god, I can't even tell you. Like,
I don't care if it's against backups. I just want to see it happen.
I might throw up with so much excitement. Honestly, there might be spewage.
Yeah. So looking at the injury report, it's mildly frustrating seeing the amount of players that we have that are out. But looking also at Kansas City, they've got a lot of big players that are going to be out as well. We all heard that Patrick Mahomes was going to be sat. Obviously, he's got a playoff run to make, so they're not going to risk injuring him. But I also saw Le'Veon Bell is questionable. Tyreek Hill is out with a hamstring. So there's a lot of weapons on their side as well that aren't going to be playing. So I'm really excited for tomorrow, dude.
Vegas has us favored.
I saw that. My dad sent me a copy of the paper that
we're favored by 3.5.
I think the paper my dad sent me, we were favored by 2, but yeah.
Yeah, like maybe I'm wrong, but I think it's right around there. And I think that just shows you exactly what they think of Mahomes and what that team is without him. And honestly, I'm not going to go in there and take any shit from the fans who are like, oh, you only beat us because you didn't have Mahomes. You chose to sit him.
Right.
We're missing all our other guys.
Yeah, our backups have been playing all season.
Right.
Welcome to
been our entire year as backups.
Yeah.
And now we finally figured our backups are like up to speed now and we're in football games.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Yeah.
So it's going to be exciting. There's a lot of new names that we're going to see on the field as well. So we're going to possibly see some Alohi Gilman.
Oh, I'm excited for
that.
We haven't really seen a lot from him this season. So, I mean, this almost feels like a preseason game.
It is.
We get to see a lot of fresh talent out there that's gunning for a spot next year.
It's almost like a veteran preseason game where they're trying to earn their spot next year. That's
true.
Doesn't have a whole lot, but like Tevi playing for a contract.
Right.
A lot of these like the Feeneys, the Lamps, a lot of those guys are playing to stay on the squad. Jalen Guyton is playing for whatever maybe contract comes next year.
He's had a great season. There's no reason why you wouldn't want to just put some icing on that cake.
It's not like they're gonna. It's almost like these are vets that are there are studs that are going to be here no matter what. Them not playing almost brings a little fire to the game with some motivation for these guys to play hard.
Exactly. Yeah, these guys, they have a reason to play. Yeah. Like, we're out of playoff contention. We have been for a few games, but this is now an opportunity for, like, these guys whose names that you have never heard of before, who have had great seasons, just prove a little bit more that they have a reason to be on this team.
Yeah, and Josh Kelly being back finally.
I hope he has a good game.
Hopefully he has a good game.
I wonder how that rotation is going to work, because I'm not seeing any of the other running backs being down, so I don't know if he's going to be more special teams with some of our guys down. Like, what are they going to do with him? So
that'll be fun to see. Hopefully he gets in there.
Wouldn't it be nice to have it? I want the 341, but wouldn't it be nice to have like a proper running game tomorrow?
Yeah. Well, if we have a proper running game, it's more likely that 341 happens. To be honest, if he has to throw 50 times, it's going to be tough. I think if he can throw 35 times and they're just bigger plays because of our running game,
50-yard passes,
right? Exactly. And those
I would
big plays
expect nothing less from you, Justin. Just so you know, we're here. We came in person. We're here in person.
Yeah.
I expect a show, Justin.
It's when you force people to come up in the box. Your running game is successful. They have to bring safeties down. I watched it in the Ohio State Clemson game last night. When you're running the ball successful, they have to bring extra guys in the box, and that's when the deep plays over the top happen.
Right.
So hopefully that's the case. I hope they are running well.
Fingers crossed. So that's what we have to look forward to the game tomorrow. But then there was a bit of there's been some rumblings of some rumors that we've been hearing, and possibly Urban Meyer is at least thinking about possibly coming to the Chargers. Now,
somebody predicted this a while ago.
Yeah, we've all been,
that was me.
We all agreed. We were all on the same page.
Whoa,
it wasn't
you
like,
kept talking about Bowles, I believe. I said Urban Meyer.
Let's all just take a step back.
I'm close up to punch you.
Put your hands down,
everybody.
Kevin.
Put your hands down.
I'm going back a couple episodes to listen.
Slowly, folks. Slowly.
You first.
Don't look at me like that.
Anyways,
I did
there was an article that came out today that said that Urban Meyer was considering the idea of possibly going to either the LA Chargers or the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, as we mentioned before, Urban Meyer is previously a head coach from college. There's been some question about his health. Apparently, he's got a cyst on his brain. what was it? There was a very specific arachnid cyst, something like that. That's really the only concerning thing.
Excruciating headaches like during game brought on by stress.
Right.
And what is not one of the main things you get as a football coach? Probably stress.
True. Yeah, that's very true. So, but the fact that something came out saying that those that were close to Urban Meyer said that he was considering it. It was at least playing with the idea of coming to the NFL, and specifically either the LA Chargers or the Jacksonville Jaguars. So
you tell me. Okay. You tell me. You're Urban Meyer. Where would you rather go?
Well, here's the thing. Because you're right. That's a very good question, because right now that New York Jets have finally got some wins under their belt, Jacksonville is primed to get Trevor Lawrence.
Yep.
So with the Chargers having Justin Herbert, who's already proved that he belongs in the NFL with a great season that he's had so far, Trevor Lawrence, who is he's going to be the number one pick regardless. And obviously Jaguars now have the number one pick. So he's going to be going there. So what is more enticing to Urban Meyer?
Dude, our defense's potential is so far above and beyond the Jacksonville Jaguars. And two, Joey Bosa is like Urban Meyer's best friend. They talk about how much they love each other on a consistent basis. There's an interview I'll try and find and retweet where they went on a show and they were just basically love. It was a love fest between the two.
They bromanced on TV.
But Kyle, give us I don't know. I know a little bit about Urban Meyer, just that he's like one of the most winning coaches. But give us a rundown on it.
Yeah. So the reason that I guess Kevin is stating that he came up with the idea first, but the reason
I'm not stating anything. It's a fact.
The reason that we at the Charger Chat collectively like Urban Meyer is we like the idea of a head coach that's done it, has been through the whole X's, not just the X's and O's of play calling, but the putting together a staff and executing logistics of traveling and off-season and practice planning. A lot of those things that go into being a head coach that don't necessarily go into being a coordinator. So Urban Meyer has never coached at the NFL level. He's never coached at the NFL level at any capacity. But
which seems to be his biggest argument for not hiring him is that the NFL is a completely different beast from college. You're dealing with more personalities. You're dealing with a lot more egos in the NFL as opposed to kids that are gunning for a potential spot within the NFL and have a lot more drive to do that much better. So that's always been the argument, I think, against him or hiring any head coach that comes from the college level. But dude, the culture. That's the biggest thing from this guy.
Wherever he goes, he creates it.
Right. So he wasn't a fluke. He didn't go to one place and create a winning culture and then wasn't able to recreate that. He's done it at several places. So his head coaching career started at Bowling Green, and he was there for 2 years. Immediately got an opportunity to go coach at Utah in the Pac-12, so he's kind of stepped up his level of competition. He was successful there for 2 years, and then went to Florida in the SEC. And we all know what happened with him and Tim Tebow, winning national championships, having a quarterback winning Heisman trophies, being extremely successful there. But then after 6 seasons there, that's when that health stuff popped up, and he had to take a year away from the game. And then in 2012, he went to Ohio State, and he won the first ever NCAA football college playoff series, as they call it. And he won the national championships there. So he's done it. He's been a very successful head coach at 3 different schools. And and when I think of Urban Meyer, I don't think of play calling. I don't think of he has this system that he's going to run no matter where he goes. He ran a Tim Tebow system, running the ball every single play.
Florida.
At Florida, won a national championship. Then he went to Ohio State and won a very defensive-minded, very air attack type of offense. So he's kind of been, it's not an X's and O's guy. And that's what everyone keeps talking about is how great certain candidates are at their coordinating, which that's great. But we're not hiring a coordinator.
Right.
And I feel like that's some of the frustration we now have with Anthony Lynn is he still wants to have a say in play calling. And that's not what I'm looking for in a head coach. Right. So he's proven that he can go to different places and instill a philosophy in a program that is translated quickly. He doesn't take 2 or 3 years to win. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have to have an ironing out period where he's figuring stuff out. He goes in, hits the ground running, has his staff ready to go, and wins football games. And that's what the Chargers are. if he needs a couple of years to develop, that's why the Jags are a good spot for a new head coach. Right. They're still a couple of years off.
Yeah.
Even if Lawrence comes in, he's still going to be a rookie quarterback. Not everyone has a Justin Herbert rookie season.
Right. We're spoiled right now.
It's going to be a couple of years before he's really rocking and rolling, probably. So some of those guys that we're thinking of as good coordinators that could be head coaches, great. But an Urban Meyer, in my opinion, has the head coaching experience to come in and immediately instill that type of culture that we need at the Chargers.
Right. And that seems to be the biggest issue with the Chargers is instilling a winning culture. And we all kind of end up looking at the Spani as being the root of that issue. So, I mean, realistically, it's going to be up to the Spani to decide who ends up being the head coach. The fact that Urban Meyer is even considering it is extremely exciting. I don't care who you are. Because the question becomes then, would you rather have a head coach who has never coached in the NFL, right, or would you rather have a coordinator who has coached in the NFL? And honestly, because of the way that you've explained head coaching and how it goes down on the field and how many plates they have to spin, I would rather a head coach from college because, yeah, I get the argument of like you're dealing with egos, you're dealing with men with families, and they all have different drives, whether it's money or whatever. But you're also dealing with a guy that has to handle a staff of coordinators. And somebody who is an offensive coordinator who has never had a head coaching opportunity doesn't know how to do that. Now, obviously, they're not going to get a chance to do that until they become a head coach. But why would you waste that opportunity on somebody like Justin Herbert, who is so primed to do so well for this team? Yeah. Because the arguments for Daboll, has been huge. But I mean, I don't know. It feels like there's a lot more, at least recent, reason to not hire a coordinator. Looking at other coaches that have been in that position, like Matt Patricia, who is just done terribly. I don't know. It feels like it's too much of a risk to risk a coordinator who hasn't had the opportunity to spin all of these plates in the same way at least a head coach was. A head coach has more than just influencing the players to do what they want them to do. It seems to be more about getting the staff. If you can get the staff, I think, on your side to do what you want them to do.
That's my thought. You're only as good as the people you surround yourself with.
Right, yeah. So surround yourself with a
He's at an echelon and a tier of coaching where people, I'm sure, want to work with him because he's going to be a winner and then they're going to get better opportunities. So I think that is a great reason. I think he'll be able to put together a great staff.
Yeah, and it's not like we're hiring a 35-year-old college coach that had some... The guy's... like in his 50s, he's a 56-year-old grown man that has coached before and has been successful, and then went into the analyst world and has had a relationship with other successful coaches, and putting together a staff for him with the pull that he has is a lot different than somebody that's been a coordinator / position coach his whole career that hasn't had that opportunity to network. So I don't know. To me, I've been a head coach, and to me, being a coordinator, that's not tough. I can call plays.
Guess what, though? 48 hours, we're going to probably have a pretty good idea what's going to happen.
We'll hopefully find out. We'll hopefully find out. Right as it stands right now, it's Saturday. This is strictly a rumor. We haven't gotten any official word. It's just
But it really tickles my
It
fancy.
really
got real excited.
I got real tickled.
Yeah, the fact that somebody close to Urban Meyer was expressing that he at least had interest in either the Jacksonville Jaguars or the LA Chargers. I mean, I hate to be biased, but it seems like the LA Chargers would be a better spot.
It would be a better spot.
Exactly. That's the thing. The Spani have to at least recognize this as an opportunity for the Chargers to really make a run. We've talked about it before. Herbert is on a rookie contract. Take advantage of it and get a good head coach. If it takes a year to get everything in place, that's fine. But instill that culture so that way the Chargers can make that push and get where they need to go. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully Monday we find out that Lynn has been let go. Lynn, we love you. You know, you're a great guy, but
You're gonna land. You're
You're
gonna
gonna
land
land somewhere. You're gonna be a special coordinator somewhere.
Special teams coordinator. Teams coordinator.
He's still
special teams coordinator.
He gets a star next
You're
week.
our
'cause he's
special boy. Teams coordinator.
Special boy.
Special boy.
All right, and so to end out this episode, we need to talk about there was an omen that Kevin just had as he was going to get some ice.
Okay, I think it's meant to be, guys. Okay, so I went to the gas station right down from our house because we're having a few libations. We're having a nice little time. Needed a little ice. Go in there. This literally every wall in this place has Chiefs stuff on it. Everywhere. The sodas have Chiefs stickers on it. Like literally, there's Chiefs everywhere.
Patrick Mahomes flavor.
There's a guy. Yeah, exactly. There's a guy sitting out in the front, like just not doing so good, wearing a Chiefs jersey. So like that's the kind of vibe I was walking into. Good. So I go get the ice. I go up to the cash register, get the stuff. I look over, and out of the corner of my eye, there's a little Zippo lighter little thing, like all these different lighters.
And you're not a smoker.
I don't smoke.
No.
I don't need a lighter.
No.
But what did I see? A Chargers Zippo.
What?
And what did I do? I bought that $30 Zippo lighter, and the kid didn't. I guess that case had never been opened before because he literally had the hardest time opening the case. But I am now a proud owner of a really old helmet looking. Like this is like a 90s.
Yeah, that's not the
Kyle,
not a recent logo.
why don't you give him a little click? Ooh.
Oh my.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
feel that flame burn.
there's literally no flame. That thing's
lighter
dried
fluid
out
in this,
in
yeah.
99. So we own that now.
But it's a good omen.
It's a good omen.
Good things are happening tomorrow, boys.
That's right.
Kick some ass, you best.
31,
The
341.
only Chargers lighter for sale in Kansas City, Missouri.
Dude, I've never seen Charger stuff in all of Missouri, let alone like walking distance
From
to the stadium.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So
Fascinating.
It's going to happen, folks. Tomorrow, 341. We're all looking for it. It's gonna be a team out there that I think is gonna be really trying to just beat the snot out of Kansas City and make a name for themselves. I'm so excited. This is so freaking crazy.
So crazy.
And we're gonna be able to do it with each other. This isn't gonna be like in our living rooms and we FaceTime each other with bad VPNs or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, one person doesn't know what's happening because they're
It's like,
behind.
what are you
everyone.
talking about? What are you talking about? I didn't know it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm 5 seconds behind.
Yeah.
We get to watch it together and celebrate together and be excited together.
It's gonna be live, folks. So we'll give you an instant reaction. I think after what happens, regardless, because we're gonna have plenty to talk about. But we had to talk about this right now because we're in Kansas City. Woolldog is in the house.
Woo!
Coach is in the house. Huggins in the house. We're all here together. And we needed to share the excitement with you. So I think that's gonna do it for us here at Charger Chat. Do you guys have any other parting words?
I
got
love you.
nothing.
I love you
I
guys.
All right.
It's so weird
It's-
doing this in person. I love it. We need to make this more of a common thing.
Yeah.
It really would be. It would be nice. So don't forget, folks, to bolt up because we're ready for any squad, any place.
Okay, love you. Bye. Okay, love you. Bye. Okay, love you. Bye.
Fucking Zippos.
I told you I'm putting it on you. We're going for it.
Yeah, I was making a bunch of plays out there.
Good. That's good. That's solid too. Yes, sir. Hold your ground. Hold your ground. Woo! Let's go, baby. Let's go. Yeah, we got all we need right there, right? All we need, baby.